to get your fix.
Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready to get your fix?
With the Wicks here on this beautiful Thursday, June 2nd, 2022, and welcome to the show, whether that's on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, do me a favor, hit the share and hit the like. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe. It'd be much, much appreciated. So yesterday we were going to do the show. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Had to make some errands or had to run some errands real quickly, pay the rent and all that stuff, all that, fun stuff, if you will. And we just didn't have enough time to, fully indulge into the NFL world because yesterday we had Capital One's The Match take place where Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady beat the absolute hell out of Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Well, they didn't kill him, but they won. Okay, we'll talk about that here in just a couple minutes. But we're back here today. Hopefully you all had a great day yesterday. Indulged yourself in the match and watched quite honestly, it was a pretty boring match. But it is what it is, right? Competitors, the top quarterbacks in the National Football League going head to head in a little 2v2 battle. It was fun to watch. It was fun to kind of see their shit talk and all of the above, basically. But today, we got a lot to get through. Because yesterday, obviously not having the show, there was still stuff that happened. Like Madden 23 releasing their cover. And boy, did they not miss on this one. They did a good job. They did a good choice. They made a good choice. And I think the whole Madden community, everyone who's fans of Madden, would agree to that statement. Also, Rodger Goodell and Washington Commanders owner Dan Snyder have been called to a hearing by the House Oversight Committee. What does that mean? Well, Dan Snyder might be out of office, might be serving some time. We'll find out in the coming weeks, and I will talk about that, though, very shortly, kind of give you an overview of what is to happen or what to expect from that situation. Also, in other news, the Falcons are bringing back a throwback uniform in which this is the first year where teams can, have the opportunity to wear another uniform. Now, this was you were able to do this a couple of years ago, where teams would have the chance, or teams had the opportunity to wear or to have two different helmets throughout the season. Now, with two different helmets, that gives you the opportunity to have two different uniforms. Rodger Goodell decided this was the no fun league and took that away. All right, plain Jane, you get one uniform, home and away. That's it. You also get your Thursday. Thursday color rush uniforms, if you will. That's all you get. That's all you want. Okay, we're not doing the throwbacks no more. That was in the past. We're not living in the past. Okay, we're living right now in the present. Deal with it. Since then, they have changed that rule where teams are now allowed to have two different helmets, which allows two different type of uniforms, meaning throwbacks are finally in play. The Falcons have chose quite a good one. Quite a good one. Got to see that today. Talk about that as well. The Jets, they're inducting three players of theirs, or three former players of theirs, into their Ring of Honor. Who are they? Well, we'll find out as well. And then, to end it off, not one, not two, but three NFL players are calling it career. Are calling it a career, basically. So with that being said, are you ready to get your fix. So yesterday we got to watch Capital One's The Match. And as excited I was for it, that was the most boringest match, or the most boring match I've ever seen in my life. That was golf. And I've watched a couple of the matches before, and they were good. Commentary was good. The interactions were good. The jokes were good. The play was good. Yesterday, not so much. The commentary was kind of lackluster. Not a lot of jokes were flying. The shit talk from Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes was kind of not as what we expected. I mean, they did a better job on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. They did a better job there than they did on the course, even though there was still some give and some take. But it could have been better. It was a boring match. I watched the first, I think I got through 4 holes, and then I went to my phone and just kind of was like, okay. This is what we're doing, huh? This is how slow-paced it's going to be, how kind of not entertaining it's going to be. We need to amp this thing up a little bit. And I think the problem is that you had four athletes that are not professional golfers, that can't give you insight on why they hit the ball in the way they did, or how to line up your shot, or where to shoot the ball on the putting green, or where to putt the ball on the putting green so that it kind of curves the right way, and give them some pointers. These were amateurs, plain and simple. They're professional in football for a reason, not golf. And I think it would have been an better overall experience if we had professional golfers in their midst. Before we had, Tom Brady or Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods, Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka. And I think there's other ones as well for a couple other one of the matches. But, yesterday, it wasn't a bad match by any means. One man stole the show. One man won the match. And that is back-to-back MVP winner Aaron Rodgers. The dude is a psycho, okay? Great on the football field, and even great on the golf course. He was shooting the ball left and right. I mean, he was the only one. Tom couldn't hit the ball to save his fucking life, okay? And even when he did, he missed. So, Tom, we gotta pick it up here, pal, okay? I mean, geez, we seem to do better with fucking Phil Mickelson back in the day. I mean, 0-2 coming into this match. You can tell he's not a good golfer. I mean, he's okay golfer. Better than me. Never done it. Okay, I've done it like maybe once. And that was fucking years ago. So I don't know how the hell I am right now. Probably 10 years ago at this point. But I can't golf. I mean, I could try. I would love to try. I would probably indulge myself into that later on in life. But they did not know what was happening. They did not know how to golf. It was kind of just a fun little thing. And for those of you that took the over or the under, if you took the over on people getting hit, like I mentioned on Twitter, you probably won. Okay, if you took the under on people getting hit with golf balls, you probably lost because, geez Louise, Josh Allen was out there trying to kill people with his fucking golf ball, okay? He hit one person right in the fucking hand. Next, 2 tees down, he hit some dude right on the top of the noggin. I mean, it was just and now the guy was like, oh, and just kind of, I don't know what the hell happened to him. Hopefully he's fine, T's and P's to him. But jeez Louise, I mean, they could not keep the ball on the fairway to save their lives. It was a boring match. The only thing you got to watch was people getting hit with the golf ball. And Patrick Mahomes, listen, pal, we got to talk about your beer choice. Because Coors Light, piss. That's piss in a bottle. Okay? Let's go, buddy. We need a Bud Light, okay? Nectar of the gods. Not Busch Light. No, not Busch Light. Not McGolden Light. No. Not Coors Light or Keystone or any of those shitty beers. No. We need you an ice cold Bud Light, fella. And if you do have a sponsorship with Coors, end it soon, okay? Cold as the mountains, just like you and Josh Allen were yesterday. Cold as ice. We need you to start drinking some Bud Light. Maybe you would have won that match then, because Bud Light, nectar of the gods. I mean, it is just the fuel to the fire, my friend. Okay, it'll help you win some ball games. All right, just putting that out there. All right, when he cracked open that Coors, I was like, oh jeez. Tom and Aaron about to feast on you, buddy, because that is a shitty beer. If you like it, whatever. But come on, Bud Light is where it's at. All right, moving forward. Madden 23 has officially released their cover. Who might it be? Is it Josh Allen? No. Is it Patrick Mahomes? No. Tom Brady? Nope. Lamar Jackson? Nope. Joe Burrow? Nope. Everyone else? Nope. One and only. There was one and only person who could ever be on this cover. And Madden knew that as well. The new cover of Madden 23 will have legendary coach and side broadcaster, because I know he always wanted to go in the Hall of Fame as a coach, not as a broadcaster, coach, John Madden. John Madden is now the cover of Madden 23, and rightfully so. He deserves it, guys. I mean, plain and simple. As soon as I heard that the Madden cover was going to be released yesterday, I was like, it better be John Madden. Because if it is not only am I going to be in an uproar about it, fans of Madden will also be very loud and very pissed at the fact that he wouldn't be on there. But Madden did their due diligence and knew that the legendary coach, may God rest his soul, needed to be on the cover of Madden 23, and I'm pumped for it, Never got to witness his greatness, literally ever. The last time I ever could remember him being a broadcaster even was when I was 3 years old. I was 3 years old when Madden released. Not the first Madden. The last Madden that he was on released. I was 3 years old. The last Madden he was on was 2000. The last one. After that, we gave it to players who we felt was most deserving of being the cover athlete. But his greatness, and watching the documentary this past winter, it's unreal what he was able to do, and just the change that he made to the National Football League, the change he brought to broadcasting as a whole. I had a buddy of mine, Logan Baumgart, shout out to him, who was on the show a couple times during the fantasy football era, which we will have again, sent us a little clip. I said, can you imagine? Or he said, like this is how boring football was back then. And they were calling a touchdown, and they didn't even really say it was a touchdown. Like, when they score nowadays, it's like Dalvin Cook rushes to the 15, the 10, 5. Touchdown, Vikings! This was a great play, blah, blah, blah. They didn't do that back then. And the reason that it is the way it is today is because of one man, John fucking Madden, folks. Legendary coach, legendary broadcaster, changed the game forever. He built this video game because he thought the game of football needed to be spread worldwide, not only to the adult audience, but the kid audience, the video game audience. He knew video games were about to make a massive push and be the new thing that was in style. So he simplified a playbook or two and put it on Madden for kids of all generations every single year for the past 30 years up to this point, maybe longer, of playing a video game that we all love, we all enjoy. He deserves to be on this cover, and it's about damn time he got it. Even though I understand why he wasn't on all the other ones. He did pass away this past year, but rest in peace to the legendary head coach, and job well done. I'm so glad that Madden chose for him to be on the cover. 3 different styles of the cover, and whatever one you get, just know that the All Madden edition is the first ever picture from the first ever Madden cover that we have. That'll be a legendary one to have. It was the first time since John Madden's been on the cover since 2000. Good job to Madden or EA Sports of putting him on the cover, because if it was anybody else, hell would have to be paid. All right, because come on now, we all know he should have been on there, and he is. Awesome job by Madden. With that being said, some interesting things have taken place, especially yesterday. As I was scrolling through my phone, there was a tweet that basically said that the House Oversight Committee invites Rodger, Goodell, and Dan Snyder to testify at a hearing on Washington Commanders' hostile workplace culture. We already know about the workplace culture for the Washington Commanders. It's a shitty one, okay? I mean, it is god-awful. Their stadium's absolutely a piece of shit, to say the least. Dan Snyder is a scumbag, okay? Likes to take pictures of his cheerleader and send it to his buddies just because he has money and doesn't think he can get away from it. He also has committed fraud. Okay, that is still under investigation. He doesn't need to be an owner in the National Football League. We need his ass out of here. Not only do we need him out of the league, Washington needs him out of the league. That franchise needs to turn completely around and be a place that veterans and others want to go play. And now Rodger Goodell is being brought into it because he's the commissioner of the league, and he has to deal with it at first hand because he is the leader of the National Football League. He needs to figure out what the hell is going on, and instead of sitting back, twiddling his thumbs and not giving a fucking shit, he needs to step in there and change some shit that's going on. He needs to take it face first, okay? He needs to go in there and figure out what the hell is going on and change it instantly, and he's not doing that because him and Dan Snyder are old buddies. You run a fucking business, okay? Time to start acting like you do, Mr. Rodger Goodell. So I'm going to read you a little tidbit of what this all entails. Basically, it says, since we launched our investigation in October, the committee's goal has been to uncover the truth about the culture of harassment and abuse at the Washington Commanders, to hold accountable those responsible and to better protect workers across the country, said Chairman Maloney. The committee has worked tirelessly to obtain critical information, including the findings of the internal investigation conducted by attorney Beth Wilkinson, only to be met with obstruction from the Commanders and the NFL at every turn. We must have transparency and accountability, which is why we are calling on Mr. Goodell and Mr. Snyder to answer the questions they have dodged for the last 7 months. The hearing will explore how Congress can act to prevent employers from silencing victims of workplace misconduct, ensure that what happened at the Commanders organization does not happen again. For 7 months, the committee has been stonewalled by NDAs and other tools to evade accountability, said Chairman Krishnamurthy. Butchered that. Mr. Snyder and Mr. Goodell need to appear before the committee to address these issues and answer our questions about the pervasive workplace misconduct at the Washington Commanders and how the NFL addressed these issues. They haven't addressed the issues. They don't give a shit. Whatever happens in the National Football League, you will never hear about. That's one thing they're very good at. Well, the integrity of the game is at our most importance. Bullshit. Because I guarantee you the integrity of the game has been spoiled time and time again. And we need to figure it out. How many games have been, how do you want to say it? How many times have they made a game go a certain way? trying to think of the fucking word. Cannot think about it. But I think on rigged. How many times have they rigged a football game? For us, for me, for you, the average fan, probably none. That's what we think because we haven't heard shit about it. And they'll never hear it. They'll never tell us. But I guarantee you, more than a handful of times, games have been rigged a certain way. Notice how only the high market teams really win the Super Bowl, or the teams that really need to a certain change. Kind of weird, huh? Kind of weird, right? New England built a dynasty. Brady over there has quite a few touchdowns, or quite a few Super Bowls. Los Angeles Rams, Green Bay Packers, known as Title Town. Kind of weird. Cowboys, San Fran, the list goes on. Philadelphia just won not too long ago, I should say, about 6 years ago. Something's not right. And this is just the first step on finding all the type of fuckery that's going on within the NFL, and especially the Washington Commanders workplace, because it's not a good one. And this hearing will be June 22nd. And this is from a statement from the Commanders that Tom Pelissero put out. He said, "The Commanders have assisted the NFL in cooperating with all prior requests from the House Oversight and Reform Committee. We look forward to responding directly to the committee's invitation in a timely manner." In other words, they have not been cooperating because the oversight has said for 7 months they have dodged us, haven't wanted to talk. And in a timely manner means when we want to, not when you tell us to. When we have our ducks in a row, we'll come in there and we'll actually tell you what happened. Because it'll all be hidden by that time. Okay? Us, Rodger Goodell, we're going to try to figure out a way to hide all the bullshit that's been happening to save the NFL's ass. That's basically what's happening. And we need to be worried. We do. As fans, if you actually genuinely care about the National Football League, you would want to know what is going on in the National Football League. You would want to. Because I guarantee you workplace misconduct isn't the only thing that's happening. But Dan Snyder needs to be out of office, be out of ownership of the Commanders once and for all, especially with this fraud. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets prison time. Wouldn't surprise me. Okay? It's just plain and simple that way. In other news, the Jets. New York Jets, who have been a franchise, a historic franchise for quite some time, are finally inducting 3 players into their ring of honor. Those 3 players are cornerback Darrelle Revis, much deserved, Revis Island, we know about it. Center Nick Mangold, an absolute staple on that offensive line for quite some time. And left tackle DeBrickashaw Ferguson. Now all 3 of these guys were first-round picks from the 2006 or 2006 and 2007 drafts. They had 3 first-rounders. Those are the 3 first-rounders. It is about damn time they get that honor and to go into the Ring of Honor for the Jets. Moving down south a little further to Atlanta, Georgia, the Atlanta Falcons are bringing back a throwback uniform for this year's Week 6 matchup, which will be played on October 16th, 2022. The Falcons are bringing back their old throwback uniforms with their red helmet. If you have not seen it, well, I'd go check it out on Twitter or Instagram, wherever you can go and look at the Atlanta Falcons page. They'll have it. Look at it. It is dope. It is sick as fuck. It is awesome, okay? I'm pumped for it. I cannot wait to see new uniforms in the National Football League, especially throwback ones, because it is such a nostalgia effect. Like, it is awesome to witness those uniforms. And for those that play Madden, you have the throwbacks available to you. You like using them every once in a while, like the Eagles' old, what are they called? The Kenny, something green ones. I can't remember how you say that. I don't know how they pronounce it, I guess. But the Patriots won. That is awesome. Won. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers is also a staple. All the above, basically. So I'm excited to see that. But I'm not so excited that 3 different people have retired. I am, well, it doesn't really matter. I'm happy for them. The first of which being pretty big. Ryan Fitzpatrick, after 17 years in the National Football League, has called it a career. He's thrown for 34,990 yards, 223 touchdowns, and he was a 7th round draft pick out of Harvard University. Dude's smart as shit, okay? All right? He is. His IQ is through the roof. His son is a walking calculator, okay? That's because he came from a Harvard, man, all right? But there's also a little reason for this. And before we get to that reason, we'll talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick briefly. Ryan Fitzpatrick, as reported by Tom Pelissero, never made it back from the major hip injury he suffered in last season's opener and had surgery in December. Remember, he was with the Washington Commanders. At the time, it was the Washington football team. In all, he played 166 games. He had 147 starts over 17 seasons with the Rams, the Bengals, the Bills, the Titans, the Texans, the Jets, the Bucks, the Dolphins, and then the Commanders. Fitzmagic has bounced around and done his thing for any team that needed a little pick-me-up. Fitzmagic, even though he was never a legit starter, never a great or a franchise guy, I should say, was always the number one backup to have in your organization. He's a stud, right? Fitzmagic is what we called him. He'd go out there and do incredible things. I mean, absolutely astonishing things on the football field he was able to accomplish, including his first ever start, which was absolutely mind-boggling to me when I got to see this little stat line, because I never knew about this for some reason. I wish I would have, but all right, let's go see. I mean, you guys just have to hear this for yourself. It is mind-boggling, to say the least, of what he was able to do in his first ever start, or his first ever appearance. Right here, Ryan Fitzpatrick. So this is reported by Matt Pomeroy. It says, Ryan Fitzpatrick's NFL debut was one of the best I have ever seen. Entered game after quarterback Jamie Martin, filling in for injured Mark Bulger, was hurt. Fitz's Rams trailed 17-0 before he had 310 passing yards, 3 touchdowns in an 33-27 overtime win at the Texans. Down 17-0, came back to win 33-27 in overtime. That's Fitzmagic. That is what we know him and love him for, but he's not done here, folks. No. Because apparently Fitzpatrick is going to be making his way to maybe the booth. He's in talks with Amazon for a key role for something over there. I'm sure other broadcasting organizations like Fox, CBS, NBC, all of them have probably reached out to Ryan Fitzpatrick because of just how smart he is and how witty he is with his answers. And, he just make a good TV personality as a whole. So good for Ryan Fitzpatrick for finally retiring, finally hanging up after 17 seasons. That's just ridiculous. Especially doing it, most of it as a backup. And when he gets those starts, he never looks back and he never tries to lose the opportunity to stay on that football field. So congrats to Ryan Fitzpatrick on an amazing 17-year NFL career. Joining him in retirement, long time center for the 49ers, Alex Mack, is retiring from the NFL after 13 tremendous seasons per at Mike Silver. He was a first-round pick of the Cleveland Browns in 2009. He spent 7 years in Cleveland. Then he spent 5 in Atlanta. And in his final year, he spent with San Francisco 49ers. He was a 7-time Pro Bowler and was voted second-team All-Pro 3 times in his NFL career. Congrats to Alex Mack. And last, but definitely not least, Frank Gore is signing a 1-day contract with the San Francisco 49ers to retire a San Francisco 49er. And what a massive, just a cross of the T, a dot of the I. I mean, it is just fantastic to see that he chose to retire a 49er, because that is where he made, a name for himself. Frank fucking Gore. Number 3 all-time leading rusher in National Football League history with 16,000 yards. It's going to be tough to beat it, especially with how easily replaceable running backs are in today's game. He had an amazing career. Wish we could have got to see it even longer or last even longer, but with the talent that has been coming up, like a Derrick Henry, a Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Ezekiel Elliott, an A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones. I mean, the list goes on for this talent that's coming up. The time was coming. And I'm glad he finally decided to hang it up and instead of waiting it out and trying to have somebody sign him and just enjoy retirement and watch his son play college football, who's going to be in the National Football League in a year or two anyways. So congrats to Frank Gore on retirement and with the San Francisco 49ers, 3rd all-time leading rusher in NFL history. And with that being said, he will forever be faithful to the Bay, as the 49ers Twitter team posted. He will be the newest inductee and the 31st member of the Edward J. DiBartolo Sr. San Francisco 49ers Hall of Fame. Congrats to Frank Gore on one hell of a career, something that probably won't ever be done again. I mean, truthfully, you are a staple in the National Football League, and you will be a Hall of Famer for sure in the future, because we cannot tell the sport of NFL or of football without your names, kind sirs. So with that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether that's on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, hit the like and the share. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. We'll be back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time, like always, to discuss more of what might be happening in the world of the football. All right. So with that being said, enjoy the day, enjoy the weather, stay safe out there, and remember, take every day as if it were your last, because you never know when solid time might come knocking. Okay, you never know when someday might be your last day. So enjoy it while you can. We'll see you tomorrow, and you just got your fix with a Wicks. And deuces, folks.